Webush drops its coverage of Gamestop GME, leaving no Wall Street rating, but who cares, you see. It keeps defying all the rules, flying way up high. Analysts just wave and say goodbye. Hey, Alicia Reese, with your rating way too low. Target price at $13.50, watch it go. 50% below the mark, what a miss. Stock at 26, cash pile, pure bliss.
Dropping coverage due to relocation, she sighs. Underperforming, the target price just lies. Last sell-sider with a rating, now she's gone. Bears calling covers, but no rating, moving on.
Hey, Alicia Reese, with your rating way too low. Target price at $13.50, watch it go. GME breaks all the rules you thought you knew. Trading wild, but no fundamentals breaking through. Kitty made it meme stock wild. Now focus shift to cash piles stacked and piled. 8.69 billion up from 4 before. Plus Bitcoin holdings analysts ignore. Hey, Alicia Reese, with your rating way too low. Target price of $13.50, watch it go. 50% below the mark, what a miss. Stock at 26, cash pile, pure bliss. These analysts at GameStop's not doing well, but people are lining up, now they're ringing the bell. Underperform, more like underestimating the game. GameStop's thriving, putting Wall Street to shame. Hey, Alicia Reese, with your underperform rating so low, target price at $13.50, but look at GME go. GME has always been a tricky proposition for traditional Wall Street analysis. That's true. The stock just does not trade on any fundamentals breaking through. She's dropping its coverage of GameStop shares, leaving a retailer without a Wall Street rating. But who really cares as it continues to defy traditional analysis, flying high. Analysts bailing out, waving goodbye. Hey, Alicia Reese, with your underperform rating so at $13.50, but look at GME go. Reese's price target was nearly 50% below current levels, what a miss. Stocks at 26, 42 cash piles, pure bliss. There they go, herd of sheep in the strip mall glow, lining up for Joy-Cons and that Zelda show. Diet stole the expert's wine, it's on its last breath, but I'm watching dudes fight over Mario's death. They got amiibos stacking like pyramids high, and the clerks thinking these fools are big sky. Transformation, yeah, from games to blockchain dreams, selling virtual land, now that's the new scheme. GameStop shifting like a wolf in the night. Haters can't see, but the future's bright. GameStop, payback, you got corporate crew and shape shifting wild. Stores stream it all. They preach from tech thrones tall, but mom's haul carts full of Pokeballs. Used is cheaper than dirt was steel, while the stock's moving short, sellers squeal. Greatest comeback since Lazarus rose. From brick walls to crypto, how it goes. Towers scream obsolete with their ties, but I'm in line laughing, eating free fries. Gamestop shifting like a wolf in the night. Haters can't see what the future's bright. Gamestop ain't get you by corporate crew. It shapes just in wild for me to meet and shine view. Dead to the towers who miss the rise. True greatness climbing and reach for skies. Line up for the funeral, but bring your dash. It's not science, laughing while you crash. Please go rushing in for the deal 3D. Transformation complete. What a beat. Dying stores just a label for the blind. Miss the magic, too busy to find. True transformations when the old learns new. Selling memes and merch to the clicking crew. GameStop ain't dead, you buy corporate crew. It's shape-shifting wild under the moonshine view. Dead to the towers who miss the rise. True greatness climbing, reach for the skies. Line up for the funeral, but bring your dash. It's not dying, it's laughing while you crash. Take a rush in, score the deal so neat. Transformation complete. What a beat.
Alright. Everybody, how are we doing? I hope everybody's doing well today. Alright, so overnight trading is on right now, so let's go look at the price together. Alright, so let's see. We're at almost 27. That's actually pretty good. I don't know. Am I too excited about this? Maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe I should tame myself a little bit. Just calm down. Everything's gonna be okay. Alright, so I'm sure everyone's know by now that had some fun doing the the song about Webush caving in. And this is to be expected. Obviously, perhaps, again, I've listened to a lot of opinions out there that perhaps they don't have enough money to hire these people anymore. Or it's just not lucrative anymore to speak against the company. Because, it's glaringly now evident that the company is doing quite well. And how well is it going to be? We don't know, right? It's all speculation at this moment in time. But of course, like if you've been covering GameStop for a while, or listened to a lot of analysts out there who have been covering GameStop, you would know that it's only one, right? And perhaps, again, most people who doesn't know anything about this company is going to start hearing a lot about this company from now on. Give it a couple more months, I think, or a couple quarters of earnings, a report, you might see a lot more coming. And I've always had this thought where, people are going to capitulate at some point and they're going to cover it very positively, and you're going to start seeing it over and over again until, people are convinced now that the company is actually doing quite well. And then they're not going to understand why the share price is going to be so high. It's because, again, there's an element of manipulation that we've been seeing for a long time. And, if you look at the 5-year chart, you would see that it's been trading sideways for quite some time. And during this time, obviously, the craziness was over here. yes, the company, you could argue that the company survived because of retail and all that stuff. And because now we have this cult like, what is it? Shareholder base. Okay. And I saw a video. Actually, let me see if I could find it. But there's a video, I think it's probably like AI generated one, where they were saying the same thing, that the reason why GameStop survived is because of I should have queued it up like a little bit, but I was kind of catching up on the news a little bit. Let's see. No, not that one. Wish I bookmarked it. I think it's this one here.
Now's the time for a great deal on the new Honda.
Greatest asset.
Okay, so let's just
Guarantee savings
react
growth
to this
with
video.
Marcus.
I know, sorry about the ads. That's crazy. But anyway, but before we react to this video, I know, have no idea who made this. Have not even looked into. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't even looked into how many videos being made over here, but we'll see in a minute here. But before we go into that, I wanted to kind of again holding on this psychological operation. So again, we might be in the psychological operation here with GameStop as well. So just be careful with that. I don't know. So this gentleman, it's a short clip. So if you want to, let's listen in, and then it will make sense in a minute.
I'm a brainwashing expert, and I am personally terrified of short form social media like that. And I'm one of the best in the world, and I am not immune to it. And I think that should be a stark warning for a lot of people.
What's the cost, though?
I think the cost is increased loneliness. Any app that sells ads has two main goals. Number one, make you compare yourself to other people in unhealthy ways. Number two, make you think, I am not enough. And we see that everywhere. I'm not enough, and I'm comparing myself to other people, and it gets us into an us versus them. Then it traps you into a corner of confirmation bias. Whatever you think, I'm going to show you this group of 150 people that agree with you, no matter how radical, how absolutely bizarre your ideas are. Let me show you all of these people. And then you start thinking the whole world's like that. I'm a brain.
That's insane, okay? So just be careful when you listen to the clip. It's small, whatever, small short form of people saying that it's gonna go to $1 million a share, $2 million a share, $100,000. Remember, I used to be saying that all the time. Jimmy go to 100,000, AMC going to 100,000. Now open door, right? So all of those is happening, and then just be careful. Tame yourself. Don't be buying at $100,000 a share. Okay. At that point, you might want to start to trim some from your position. Again, I'm not expecting that, honestly. But if it happens, hey, perhaps the I guess the short percentage is just way higher than it's being reported. But anyway, so just be careful with that. And of course, there's another clip here, kind of like saying the same thing, but at a different angle. So.
Listen, social media and news channels are not built to give you both sides. If you're only seeking the truth through social media or some news channel or some talking head, you're only getting the stuff that agrees with you. Then you will never be able to hear the other side of the story. And consequently, you will walk around with half the story and wonder why you're so angry all of the time. Listen,
That's true. That's true. I thought my mic is not on. But anyway, yeah, that's perfectly exemplified. Or simplify. Not sure if that's the term. But it simplified, I think why everybody is so anxious all the time and have the need to buy stuff all the time to make themselves feel better. And I get it, this is a consumption-based society. We've been kind of tailored our economy based on consumption all the time. And so if people are not spending money, there's nothing to go around, apparently. So it's going to be like that for quite some time, and ChatGPT or Grok AI and all that stuff assistant is going to be becoming worse and worse, because now you think that you're smarter than you actually are because you know so much, right? Perhaps again, those tools can be dangerous too. But remember what I say about coding is that I guess the tool is only as good as the coder, right? And so if coders are, not so good people, right? There's no reason why they would want you to have any freedom in that. So if fall in the wrong hand, it's going to be very bad for a majority of us, right? So again, just be careful with that. So that's just a little snippets of where my head's at the moment. Let's switch gear, go back to what we are going to react to. Now this one, like I said, it's probably AI generated one where I've done one of those videos before. I just want to test it out to see how it works. But yeah, short form and reading off of whatever script that is being said here, but it's worth kind of notice a little bit about the angle, and again, even though it's still negative, skewed to the negative side or a little bit of positivity, they always have this, underlining, Jimmy is still a meme stock, okay? So let's listen it.
While being slightly fast-paced for the weekend, Gamestop Corp., trading under the ticker symbol GME, finished its last session on Friday, September 26, 2025, at a price of $26.42. This represented a notable intraday gain of $1.15, marking a significant 4.55% surge for the day. While a single day's rally might seem like straightforward positive momentum, the reality underpinning this movement is far more complex than a simple price chart could ever convey. The expectation from a casual glance is one of bullish conviction, a stock flexing its muscles into the weekend. However, the deeper reality is that GameStop remains one of the most enigmatic and fiercely debated equities on the entire market, a battleground where traditional valuation metrics clash violently with a powerful, cult-like retail investor narrative.
There you go. Yeah, right? They have to say that. So again, never mind the fundamental of it, right? Fundamentally, we've been improving for quite some time, and it's just that right now, when people are starting to notice it, they have to put a speed bump into this type of thing. But hey, I don't mind that. Honestly, if they want to keep this price, keep it. Keep it at 20 for another year and see what happens. Do you think that people are just gonna stop buying the company and buying even more and more and more? Of course, we're gonna buy more. And again, even if it comes down to $4 billion, because people are like, well, Jimmy's only have $6 billion cash and all that stuff. Let's just watch Moran's video. And again, people still have this wrong idea about the company. And this is why it's such an opportunity for people who have discovered as if or come to this realization and take the position in the company before anyone else has caught on to what the company's actually been doing. And this is all investing is all about. When you saw the trend is about to break to the other side, no matter what, whether the company is starting on the decline or the company is starting to turn positive again. So that's when you see that parabolic move. And again, it depends on how many people are caught on to that, right? how many people are actually going to be bullish, positioning themselves, and make sure that they are, get ahead of the trend before the trend ends at some point. Now we're about to turn into a free liquidity environment of, Fed rate cuts. How many more cuts? Of course, the expectation is that we're going to have 2 more rate cuts on 25 basis each. And again, whether it's going to be priced in or not, we're not sure about that. But from the last meeting, we could see that. And so the expectation is that GME could also be a high, quote unquote, high risk bet in a sense. So again, they're preparing people for that narrative, but yet not giving enough credit for the fundamental catalyst of things.
Truth is, that 4.55% jump is less about a universal belief in the company's fundamentals and more a single skirmish in a much larger ongoing war of perception. A war that has now pivoted into a fascinating new phase defined by hard cash, cryptocurrency bets, and an almost complete abandonment by Wall Street's analytical class. The common belief, the one that has fueled this stock for years, is that GameStop is the flagship of a retail-led revolution against institutional short sellers, a David and Goliath story playing out in real time on trading platforms from Fidelity to Robinhood. The expectation is that as long as this dedicated army of individual investors holds the line, the stock is perpetually coiled for a short squeeze of epic proportions. This narrative is powerful, emotional, and has proven remarkably resilient. But it is not the full story. The challenging reality is that the company itself, under the tight-lipped leadership of CEO Ryan Cohen, is undergoing a radical and uncertain transformation.
A radical? What? Selling stuff to people at a breakneck speed is radical? But anyway, I'm just laughing at this. And I'm like, why are they finding this emotionally hitting terminology, right? And it just makes me think about this past few weeks with Charlie Kirk's whole event, and that word, it just seems to be prominent, right? To make you feel like you're insane, the opposition is insane or whatever. And again, that's probably why I'm so intrigued about this company, in the way it was covered, and I see through that, it seems, but again, over the years that I've been covering this company, I could see that. I could see that play again and again. When anyone talk about GameStop, it's always like this, where they always have a narrative behind it.
Focus is no longer just on selling video games. The company has become a hybrid entity, part struggling specialty retailer, part burgeoning collectibles dealer, and now part corporate treasury with a significant and highly volatile holding in Bitcoin.
Really volatile. But again, these are novel idea, and again, this is how business should be run, right? Dynamically, getting ahead of the trend. You're not staying behind the trend just because corporate, CEO out there doesn't know how to grow, right? They're staying stagnant. They don't know how to innovate, in a sense, to stay ahead of the trend, like I said. And so these analysts out there, they stay away from these type of company when it is to the detriment of you, right? And again, that's what analysts is all about, you guys. They do this time and time again, to try to sway you from investing in the company that is actually changing the way that the old leadership was doing, and trying to steer you to invest in something that is not doing that, right? Again, strategy about poop and scoop, pump and dump. It's the same exact thing. So when they're saying that it is a hybrid and it's uncertain and tight-lip, tight-lip Ryan Cohen. That's always been the criticism of GameStop leadership, is that there's no earnings call, there's no guidance, right? It's been like that for the past 4 years. And it is still a pain point for them. However, as far as the result go, like I said, many years. If the CEO doesn't tell you what it is, it's not that you can't find out what the company is doing. You could go out there and read the report yourself. You don't need the CEO to verbally say, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. It's like they already lay it out. And, the mission of, remember the open letter that Ryan Cohen wrote to the board of director? We're still in that mode of operation. And so that mission is still alive. And are we the number one retailer business in the world right now? Not yet, but we're gonna try to be, right? In terms of number one destination for gamers, number one destination for collectors. Are we there yet? Not yet, but we were about to do that. But and my point is that the mission is still there. Mission has not been accomplished yet, but we're about to do that. It might take another 5 years, you guys, before we become the number one, the number one in the world for people to go and get Pokemon card or get a whatever, a console, stuff like that. So it creates a sense of community, okay? When you go out and shop at the store, you get to talk to people, right? So there you go.
Recent filings revealed the company.
Hey, Lionel, what's up? I have not talked to you. I hope you're doing well.
Company purchased 4,710 Bitcoin, a move that fundamentally alters the investment thesis. The Tesla stock playbook of adding Bitcoin to the balance sheet has been adopted, meaning GME's price action is now inextricably linked to the wild gyrations of the cryptocurrency market, adding a profound layer of systemic risk and volatility that has nothing to do with its core business operations. Analyzing the recent trading week reveals this complexity in action. The stock saw considerable volume, cresting over 8 million shares on Friday, which, while
considerable volume. What volume are you talking about? Hardly any. It's been like that for years, you guys. Like 8 million shares trading back and forth. It's nothing. Okay, you haven't seen any considerable volume like these people are telling you here.
while robust, is a far cry from the hundreds of millions seen during the historic squeezes. This suggests a more consolidated base of holders, but also a persistent level of speculative interest. Institutional ownership figures from the most recent quarter present a bewildering picture. While giants like Vanguard and BlackRock maintain largely passive positions, there has been a flurry of activity from more aggressive funds. Hedge funds like Marshall Wace and Citadel Advisors dramatically increase their positions, while others.
Jeez, I wonder why. Maybe they're capitulating to the upside now. Yeah, I know I'm doing well. Thank you. That's good. That's good to hear.
Like Susquehanna International reduced theirs. This institutional hot potato, visible to those who dig into the data through services on platforms like Interactive Brokers, shows that the so-called smart money is far from unified. Some are clearly betting on volatility, others on a potential turnaround, and many are likely engaging in complex derivative strategies to profit from the stock's extreme price swings without taking a simple long or short position.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that true for every single stock out there in the market? Of course, there's mixture of feelings over here, but it's undeniably true that the institutions has been easing on the negative rating in terms of the action that is where they are increasing in their ownership of GameStop, whether through complex derivative or not, it shows that they are interested in it, right? So different market participant will do that. And retail's going to come in, but then they're going to try to short it again, thinking that it's going to come down. Oh my God, it's a terrible company. Why would it be trading at $100 a share type thing? So be ready for that. I don't know. Again, it seems like they are preparing people for that big surge of volume coming in. So, what I've been kind of speculating so far is that I feel like there is going to be, I don't know. I'm hoping maybe it's not going to happen, but Ron Kitty might tweet, this Monday or after midnight. Who knows? That would shake up the would shake up the whole entire world. I don't know. Maybe he's just disinterested in it. Who knows? But it's hard to think that he's gonna not be here. But again, the company, the share price, or whatever. I don't think we need Roaring Kitty to tweet for the companies to do well, or the share price to do well. It's gonna do what it needs to do, you guys. I am not worried that it's gonna come down or up or whatever, because again, I do have some time, but I do wish that people who are waiting for that spike, because I do have a few people. I mean, I'm sure Lino still have GameStop. That they're able to exit out at whatever price they deemed enough for them to feel great about their investment or whatever. And again, that's why I get people on here. Just because I think it's going to go higher doesn't mean that they need to hold for me to reach that price. I've never think of it that way. If people want to sell at 32, 33 or whatever, and they think that is the right amount of money, that's great. I mean, go ahead, do your thing, right? I'm happy for you. And just because people are selling at a lower price than mine doesn't take away from my own conviction on this company, for sure, right? And I don't feel some sort of way that you're cutting me off or cutting me out of my own profit just because you don't sell it at the right price that I deem to be correct, right? So there's no sense of that. So, in my mind, it could go pretty high, but again, I'm taking that risk for myself. I have my moon back over here that is still intact, okay, and of course I am waiting on that price. I know it's crazy. It sounds crazy to think that, hey, $1,000 a share, that's what my hard line is. Of course, I'm trying to build this back up because I did trade some, I think 26 or so, but I have to take a look. But I did sell some. Again, I'm expecting it to come down a little bit because Monday typically they smack it down. Again, I'm just speculating, taking that risk. But again, I'm still having my crypto on there, so that's why I did that real quick, because I think that crypto is gonna do a little bit better in terms of percentage, and it's a quick trading thing that I took the risk to do, hoping to get more GameStop shares. But at this moment in time, it's a big mistake at the moment. But hey, who knows? Maybe tomorrow the price is gonna come down, and I could buy a little bit better price. Again, I'm a bit selfish, wanting GME to come down, way down, right? But because I want more share, and you guys, come on. Anyway, so let's finish this video here.
The average person using a SoFi Invest account, this sophisticated maneuvering in the background is often invisible, yet it is a critical force shaping the stock's trajectory, far beyond the simple buy and hold mantra. Comment below with your honest opinion. Do you believe GameStop's massive Bitcoin investment was a genius strategic pivot or a reckless gamble? To understand the future, we must be clear about the present business. GameStop's physical stores are in a state of managed decline, with a continuous process of closing unprofitable locations. This is a deliberate strategy of extreme frugality, championed by Ryan Cohen, to slash overhead and stop the bleeding from its legacy brick-and-mortar operations. Where the company has found surprising and legitimate success is in the collectibles market. Revenue from collectibles, particularly trading cards like Pokemon and sports cards, surged an incredible 63% in the second quarter. By striking a deal with grading company PSA, GameStop has turned its stores into hubs for a booming hobby, a tangible, high-margin business that leverages its existing retail footprint in a way that software sales cannot. This is a real fundamental positive. However, it's overshadowed by the simultaneous collapse in its software sales, which plummeted as gamers continue to favor direct digital downloads. This dichotomy is central to the tension within the company. One segment is growing explosively from a low base, while a traditionally core segment is evaporating. The latest
Yeah, we know that. And leadership know that. That's why we pivot to a better, high profitable, high margin, business like collectible items. We're leaning heavily. Ryan Cohen said that on his interview too. So it's nothing surprising there. But however, the physical store will still be there. The physical game will still be there. You have Switch, Nintendo, or whatever that they're doing. That an overwhelming support for physical media still. And so, as evident by the Switch 2 release, smashing success, okay? So people will vote based on how many people will be buying from GameStop. And judging from last quarter report, earnings report, you could see that the sales went up, right? Revenue went up, you guys. Revenue. We beat on revenue. Lionel, how many times have I told you we didn't beat that? we missed on revenue, but we're good on earnings per share. Now we could say that we have both going for us, right? So the point here is that the revenue surge, right? They acknowledge that, but still they're like, whoa, it's still risky. I'm like, what? Oh my God.
This Q2 earnings report was a testament to this strategy's success. The company
And how is it that extreme frugality approach? See? Like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. This is a sign of uncertain time. How is that a bad thing, by the way? It's such a misleading thing.
company reported a stunning swing to profitability, with adjusted net income of $138.3 million, or $0.25 a share, compared to a mere $5.2 million a year prior. This was achieved through aggressive cost-cutting and the boom in collectibles, proving that Cohen's turnaround has teeth. But the market's reaction remains tethered to the bigger picture. Looking forward, the outlook for GameStop is a triptych of wildly divergent possibilities. The first scenario is the one the faithful retail investors believe in. Cohen, now armed with a massive war chest of over $5 billion in cash and Bitcoin from savvy stock and bond offerings, will execute a masterstroke. This
is another misleading thing too, because shareholder equivalent or shareholder equity is around $4 or $5 billion there. No, 6 billion, sorry. But, as a shareholder, we've known, because we've been tracking this quite a bit, okay? And let me try to explain this real quick, okay? So we know that GME has Bitcoin holding, and at this price, actually, it's a bit lower. So let me just put the correct price here. Right now, it's 111,000. So we're at around $522 million, okay? So far, that's the Bitcoin holding at this price point, and then you have cash raised through ATM, and then the convertible notes. So these are both, okay? Maybe I should split it so that people realize what this is. So if you were to account for all of that cash and cash equivalent or asset through Bitcoin as well, you can see close to $10 billion right there, okay? Now, with that, $10 billion actually including everything, including the warrant as well. So assuming that, maybe I shouldn't make that assumption because we haven't been converting that yet. So that's how I calculated that. But again, to underestimate, whether people are gonna convert or not, I don't think we should just judge that it's not gonna get converted. Okay. So just like the video was saying, well, because shareholders are so loyal that they could convert even though the share price is under 32. I don't know if there's an ability for people to do that. I don't know yet. So not quite sure. So don't quote me on that though. That if you're, let's say, after a year, Jimmy's still below 32, can we still convert the warrant into $32 a share? Okay. For now, let's just say no. But even then, you have to wait for another year to make that judgment. So just know that when I say $10 billion, it's accounting for debt, warrant, ATM, and all that stuff too, right? Now, as analysts, right, I understand that people might not want to mention these three, okay? And then they would just report this. Oh, they only have $4 billion, right? 4 billion. What is this wait, what did they say here?
$5 billion in cash and Bitcoin.
5 billion, okay. So they're saying it's $5 billion. Not sure why I only have this. Oh, you know why? Because I didn't add the shareholder equity. Because again, they make money actually, okay? They made quite a bit of money from the operational costs there. I mean, from operation. So let's go back here. But anyway, so let me just mention this real quick. Because anytime they do it's only $5 billion and all that stuff, they're talking about shareholder equity, okay? Minus debt. When we talk about debt, it's important for these analysts in these type of videos to have a little bit of nuance to that. Because it's true that the company has more cash than what is being told. And of course, Tony De Niro or whatever, talking about net position. Net is actually more important. Is it though? Is it? When you have people giving you free money to do something, you don't discount that cash as nothing. Okay? Because this is actually free money, 0 interest rate. And yes, it's dilutive if the price is going to be above the conversion rate. And let's say that this week, because of the surge in price, don't you think that these is not going to convert into shares? If they convert into shares, then Jimmy doesn't have to pay them back at all. And so that's going to get converted so quickly because now the convertible note holder are now eligible to, convert it to share and own that share at that price right there, the conversion notes. So in a sense, they get to profit off of the fact that not only that they will get $2.7 billion a share at 28, 200 billion. I mean, 200 billion. No, $4 billion right there. $4.2 billion in share. They don't cost the price to surge dramatically. They get to buy it in bulk like that from the company, issuing through the company, convertible bond or whatever. So if we receive the news that, hey, the convertible bond holders converted into shares, then yes, then that dilution news might cause the price to go down momentarily. But now, the company has no debt anymore. So all of a sudden, company will report the next quarter or 2 more quarters. Who knows? I'm just speculating. 2 more quarters later, you're going to see that, hey, GameStop has $10 billion. So that's going to cascade a lot more of excitement there too. And at that point, if you're still blind to the, to the massive amount of cash that they have and the ability for them to raise even more money, then you're just too blind to see it, and there's no hope for humanity anymore. No, I'm just joking. Of course, there's always hope for humanity. But anyway, so with the warrant, I think it will trade above that for sure. And as far as the S&P 500, you guys, like I know that we're all waiting on that. I think we are going to do that, but I think for us to achieve that, what is it called? The qualification, it doesn't mean that they're going to put us in right away, even though we'll qualify for that. So it might, you might have to wait until 2027. Hey, Casey, what's up? It's been quite some time. I wasn't on the stream. Oh, okay. I'm still holding my share and very happy about it. Yeah, of course. Like I'm so happy for all of us to, to be here. Before everybody else, get to see the true, like a true transformation for sure, of this company. And, to get it at $12, I don't know at what point were you able to get the share, but I still remember when it was like at $10 a share, $12 a share, $15 a share, and all that stuff. So pretty fortunate that I'm able to accumulate so much more, and again, that's why I'm able to grow my portfolio to this point in time, because I was able to, switch off and on. But again, that's why I developed my strategy here, is to always have some exposure to GME. It's been a long waited. It's been a long time. It's been, since we've been waiting on this spike or whatever, or going to spike soon. I'm excited either way. If it doesn't spike, okay, just have to accumulate more. Doesn't mind. If there's still a lot of people, still not believing in it for sure. And again, before that happened, right? We want to accumulate when it's boring, when people don't know anything about it, when people are still confused, when people are like, oh my gosh, it's too much. I'm gonna sit on the sideline, and then they buckle, and they when they see the price going up and up and up, and like, oh my God, I'm gonna miss out on this. So that's when they jump in. That's when the fun begin, right? When people trying to get it at $80, $100, and whatever. And again, that's why people lose money, right? Because they are waiting on that momentum. And now you see people are pumping it up, like the original people coming in. I'm sure Matt Core is gonna cover it again, and by the time they cover it, GameStop might be at $100 or $200 at that point, right? So it's fun to see for people to come back in, and videos like this will pop up more and more now. And again, like they have quite a bit of subscriber. And this is where the fun begins, right?
From savvy stock and bond offerings will execute a masterstroke. This could be a major acquisition, perhaps in the e-commerce or even the fintech space, that transforms GameStop into a completely new kind of company, a tech giant born from the ashes of a retailer. In this version of reality, the current share price is a deep value proposition. The second scenario is one of stagnation. The collectibles business provides a profitable floor, and the cost cuts keep the company in the black. But the decline of its core video game business continues to act as a drag. The mountain of cash generates interest income, but Cohen fails to find a transformative acquisition at the right price.
Huh? What? He failed to do what? He hasn't failed to do anything. He just haven't seen anything, right? Again, it's a narrative that they are, trying to paint this guy, trying to do something for the company, and that he failed to do something. It's like, what? He's just sitting on cash right now and waiting patiently to find a deal that makes sense, right? Look at the overall economy right now. Do you feel like everything is cheap or overpriced? I mean, just answer that question for yourself. Everything that you are buying right now, is it overpriced or seemingly that it's like the right value for that? So the same way with companies. Companies has been overpriced. I know, including GameStop, right? That's what they're saying. But if every single company out there in the world are overpriced, why not GameStop as well? See what I mean? So, leadership has not been failing to find anything yet. But again, it's a matter of perspective, you might say, or perhaps they're just, trying to find way to expand this business a lot better, a lot faster, using AI or using blockchain, using every single avenue out there. Just because he doesn't tell you, CEO doesn't tell you what he does, doesn't mean that he's not doing something. So with this with this type of number, I don't think he hardly sit on his ASS. Of course, he's been doing a lot of stuff, okay? And keep in mind too, he's not even taking the salary. It really changed my outlook on what my future will be. It's very special to hold 100% of my wallet. Oh, wow. Is that true? A lot more risky than I do, right? Yeah, I mean, hey, at one point in time, my Roth IRA was 100% GME. Right now, it's not yet. It's not, but I do try to come back. But I did time it a bit off, in terms of crypto. That's why. But I have background in crypto. That's why I was doing it in that way. I thought crypto was gonna, in terms of like altcoin, was gonna do something this weekend or this past 3 months. So I'm missing out on this. Now, again, like I said, to be clear, okay, my moon back is still here. So if Jimmy were to go up 1,000% tomorrow, I'll be set for life too. So don't worry about me, okay? I was like, oh my gosh, she sold her traded amount. Therefore, she's not gonna, be rich or whatever. I'll be fine. I'll be alongside with you guys. But yeah, hey, if you have that conviction, I hope that you've been following, the company's doing well and all that stuff, and that's. There is an enormous amount of risk, but also there's an enormous amount of reward as well, if you're correct. So I don't mind. Like, I don't advocate for people to do that, unless they know exactly what it is. Okay. But again, the conviction is on you, right? At one point, like I said, I was all in on GME as well, on my Roth, right? The whole thing. And even on my trading account as well, I was all in on GME. And then I just, again, kind of jump into crypto. And I was able to do pretty well. Like I right now, if I want to buy 100% on GameStop, I'm gonna have substantial more shares. But I don't know what I'm waiting for, you guys. Like I should I should go all in. But no, not yet, not yet. I am waiting on the maybe this weekend. Maybe. Because you know how it is, right? If you've been trading GameStop, right, or shouldn't say it's trading, but if you've been watching the price, it seems to me that every single Friday it goes down. Now this might be the fake out that this Friday is the only Friday it's gonna go spike up, gap up or whatever. Who knows? That could be the possibility too. But I think there's a little bit of pullback before that. The warrant, or maybe perhaps during the warrant as well. You might see that drop of people. Remember when they were issuing the convertible notes or convertible bond? Everybody thinking that it's gonna go up, including me, right? And immediately it drops. I think that's gonna happen to this warrant issuance. But don't hey, don't be sad if that happened. Just because I expect it to come down doesn't mean it's gonna come down, okay? So now with this one, remember when they were announcing convertible note to buy Bitcoin? This is when they did that. And this is also another convertible notes. Okay. Now, do I want them to add more Bitcoin? Of course, I want them to add at least another $1 billion just to stay true to like 10% of the balance sheet should be in the hardest asset in the world. I don't mind if they quote unquote diversified into Ethereum, because Ethereum does give you some yield there. That's a value proposition. And the fact that Wall Street is also in on it as well, you might want to have a piece of that too. But again, if they don't do anything else, it's still good. Like I don't fear that it's gonna go bankrupt anytime soon, or that the value of the company is gonna come crashing down to the point where it's detrimental to the actual business. And even if, let's say, the actual business is coming down, we don't make a penny from the store, we still have the $80 million from the interest. I mean, I'll take that. I'll take that company anytime. Because we have such a mode of cash and mode of growth, right? Because again, like if the business cycle is turning on right now, and the market hasn't want to come down in price yet, correction or whatever that is expected, then we will be able to take advantage of that through Bitcoin appreciation in price. So not much worry about that. And this is actually hedging for inflation right there. And again, Ryan Cohen already told you guys that on the interview, so you should be watching that if you haven't already. But yeah, so with that warrant, that's why I'm expecting it, and maybe before October 3rd, which is this Friday. I might go in on it like real quick, just to get the one and then go back to crypto. But I don't know. Again, I feel like they might pump crypto harder too, just to get people all diversified in crypto. To do what I'm doing right now, so I don't want to advocate anyone to do that. if you want to stay exposed, has a lot of more exposure to GameStop, more power to you. But again, my additional share, I'm planning to add more this week. But hey, look, it could gap up this morning and then like $80 a share, which, okay, that's fine. I miss out. Oh, by the way, I sold my call already, so I don't have any call option right now. But just straight up share. Hold on, let me see. I wonder. Oh wow. So we are doing well here. 2%. We haven't seen this for quite a bit, huh? Now, if you've been in this company for the last 3 months, you could see that we've been doing well, like a very strong uptrend. Okay, 12% in 3 months. In a year, we're still down 15%. Okay, in retrospect, obviously, you know, depends on when you buy the share. You're gonna see this moving along. But I don't know. Again, you know, there might be a fake down before the rip. Okay, so be careful if you want to buy call. I'm not gonna buy call this week because I feel like the volatility is gonna be too crazy. I should have kept one call at least, but I sold it already. And again, like, I just feel like they could crush the IB anytime they deemed it. So even if you see the spike, you might not, you know, get to profit off of that spike that quickly. And typically the spike happened after hours anyway, so there's not much participation in that. So that's why, again, call option, if you were to buy it, it's very risky. That's why I don't do that like a lot. I don't have a lot of call now. Share is the best. All right, guys. I think, let me just finish this real quick.
In this reality, the NVIDIA stock type of explosive growth never materializes. The company becomes a sort of specialty holding company, profitable but unexciting, and the stock price eventually drifts down toward a valuation more aligned with its actual earnings power.
Huh? Okay, more profitable but yet not excited enough. It's like, what? So they're priming you that don't be too excited because the underlying valuation of the company is going to pin at what the company could get people to buy, which is bullcrap, by the way. Like, you're not going to be pinning that. If people are starting to come to this realization that GME is actually a good company to own for the long term till the end of time, right? Like, from now on, it's just going to be up from here. People are not going to be excited for that. Of course, people are going to be excited for that. But I think, again, they just don't want massive amount of people gaining momentum. And this is also, too, that's why they are coming up with Open Door. Pompliano guy has been pumping it up to the masses, saying that it is a true turnaround company now, right? To try to steal, you know, the quote-unquote playbook on GameStop. And I even hear them mention about how the CEO of Open Door doesn't take any penny or something like that. Again, copycat, right? And we all know about Open Door, that it's private equity and all that stuff, and that's why they are just pumping it to the masses. And you see the the usual suspect, right? The mass investor now is promoting it, and you could see, you know, that's the next AMC again. So of course AMC is gonna do the same one trick pony type thing. But we all know that Jimmy is different. Jimmy has been setting themselves apart from that. It's not a meme stock anymore, but people still think it is a meme stock. That's on them, okay? Because they don't take the time to look into it deeper.
Leaving many current holders disappointed. Many investors seeking stable long-term growth might find this scenario unappealing, preferring the managed approach of Schwab Intelligent Portfolios or the diversified offerings of Fidelity ETFs over such a concentrated bet. The third scenario is the risk case. The pivot to Bitcoin proves disastrous. A crypto
What? The whole world wants Bitcoin and it's disastrous. Like, banks are adding to their balance. Not yet, but banks are offering, will start to offering Gamestop or some sort of crypto product soon. I think, is it Bank of America or I think Citibank or something. Even MasterCard are integrating, Ethereum payment rail. And so to say that it could be disastrous is so short-minded or mislead at the very best. But again, these traditional analysts, they might not even care too much about the innovation of Bitcoin and what it could be in the future. And they always shy away from all the risk, or they want you to feel like it's risky, but it's not really risky.
Crypto bear market could wipe billions off GameStop's balance sheet, spooking investors and erasing the financial buffer that is currently the company's greatest asset. Simultaneously, the collectibles boom could prove to be a fad, its growth slowing as discretionary spending tightens in a weaker economy. If the company is forced to burn through its cash to cover operational losses, the entire turnaround narrative could unravel with alarming speed.
Yeah, and that's why we have cash to cushion that. But let me just address this real quick. I know, because of the collectible Pokemon could crash and all that stuff. It could happen, right? But and the sign. But here's the thing: this video just assume that we are in a good economy right now. We're not. We're actually struggling right now. I'm not talking about a company, but I'm talking about the economy at large. Yes, consumer seems to have some, money, but I think it's all on credit card here. People are just living on borrowed money. But yeah, I mean, again, this could have a little bit of a point, but right now you don't see sign of that at the moment. And like I said, because of the business cycle, debt refinancing going down, rates going down right now, you're gonna see a surge of asset price going up. So, and who knows? There's also gonna be a bailout too, right? You could see Trump was bailing out some farmers, that caused by tariffs. This trade war with China, right? And so they're not buying soybean from us, all that stuff. So that could affect a little bit or prop up the economy a little bit because of the bailout. But as you know, it's gonna go to the biggest donors out there. So it's not to the economy. So regular human being don't have discretionary spending. So they might have a point there, but that's why we have cash. Cash is going to cushion that blow if it happens. So not to worry there.
Compounding this risk is the near total silence from Wall Street analysts. Webush, one of the last remaining firms covering the stock, recently dropped its coverage entirely. This creates an information vacuum where the narrative is controlled almost exclusively by social media sentiment, which is notoriously fickle. The stock exists in a reality bubble, detached from the typical checks and balances of institutional analysis, making it exceptionally vulnerable to sudden shifts in momentum. The tools for online investing have democratized access, but they have also amplified the power of narrative over numbers, a dynamic that finds its ultimate expression in the GameStop saga.
What narrative over number? It's been narrative over number to the downside too much. I would argue that. For decades, decades, the company has not been given a fair share of good analysis at all. It's been skewed to the downside, to the point where now they're dropping the coverage, and that's supposedly bad because now the vacuum is like skewed to the downside or to the upside too much. No, because the narrative was just too, I guess the polar opposite is true. That's why the share price hasn't moved. Okay. Nobody cares about GameStop, or quote unquote, that's the appearance of it. Again, whether that's manufactured to be that way, I don't know. Who knows? But it is what it is. Hey, what's up, Casper? I think I recognize you. But yeah, welcome. Very excited, huh? It's been a long time coming for sure. Anyway, so let me try to finish this.
In summary, the expectation painted by GameStop's recent price rally is one of renewed strength and conviction. The reality is that the company stands at a profound crossroads, defined by a successful but narrow operational pivot, a high-stakes gamble on cryptocurrency, and the immense pressure of living up to an almost mythical market narrative. Ryan Cohen has successfully executed the first phase of the turnaround. He has stopped the bleeding and built a fortress of a balance sheet. Now he must deploy that capital in a way that creates sustainable, long-term value. The expectation is for a checkmate move that will justify the faith of millions of investors who use platforms from Fidelity Investments to the Robinhood app. The reality is that the path forward is fraught with peril, and the ultimate outcome of this grand experiment in corporate reinvention remains one of the most compelling and uncertain stories in the entire market. The battle between the narrative and the numbers is far from over.
Okay.
Dreams.
How did you feel about that coverage? Negative or positive? But I feel like it's skewed to the negative side. Too much. So again, that's the dynamic here. That it depends on what your sentiment is, for sure. But that doesn't mean that the company in and of itself is in trouble in any way. Very, very certain of that. And the fact that they are, saying that the future of this company is going to be uncertain, that it is gamble. See, look, like they are framing it as if it's a gamble. Okay, sure. Cryptocurrency, as if like, Bitcoin, which is, the most pristine collateral in 20 years. You'll see, you guys gonna see that. But again, that's a long bet, right? Who knows if it is. But it gains a lot of popularity there. Okay. And I truly think that, people like rich people, not talking about us, okay, that the billionaires and the millionaires out there, they are going to store their wealth in Bitcoin rather than in real estate, because real estate have liability. Nobody like liability, okay? They will leverage it, I'm sure, if they still own any real estate, but real estate will be coming down in price because of this realization, okay? That if you hold Bitcoin, you don't have any liability except, if something happened to, crypto, it might, right? But hey, if you're a billionaire, you have people who have, high security and all that stuff, so you don't typically worry about that too much. My point is, cryptocurrency is going to do well. Okay. Bitcoin's going to do well. So there's no risk there, in my opinion. Yep. So, with these uncertainty and all that stuff, I don't think that's the narrative between numbers and just sentiment. Like, that's not cool to say. But hey, it's not on a crossroad. It's trending the other way. Okay, trending the other way for sure. But yeah, so it's not far-fetched to think that it's going to be this every single quarter from now on, you guys. You're gonna see double beat, double beat, double beat all the time. Let me see what's that. See, look. Even the estimate on the revenue side, they are going up. Okay. So what does that tell you? I thought it's a dying business. I thought it's an uncertain business. Why are you estimating so high of a revenue? And on top of that, we're gonna beat the earnings per share. Look at that. So we reported 25 cents, and they still have us at 20 cents here, even though the revenue going up. Right? Crazy, right? But hey, maybe this is what they're trying to do, is that they are underestimate, low bar this so that they could justify bringing the price up eventually. Yeah, so maybe they're ready to close their position. Who knows? Okay, it happened today, this week. Let's go. If not, okay, we'll wait. We'll wait a little bit longer. Oh my gosh, we're at 27. All right, you guys, I am kind of sleepy right now, so I'll let you guys go, and we'll play a few music. I hope you guys been enjoying the music that I made lately. It's been fun, it's AI, so who knows. Okay, let me look at okay, anyway, good night, you guys, and have a good day. Bye. Let's see. Hold on. I am looking for a good song here. Oh, sorry. I speed it up 1 minute. All right, now I could go. Okay, good night.
Walls of screens, numbers flashing bright, Gamestop rising, Bitcoin taking flight, no smoke and mirrors, just pure market mind. We're changing the game day and night. They said we couldn't, but we're proving them wrong. Together we're building a financial song. No hype, no lies, just genuine worth. We're shaking the system, giving birth to a diamond hands revolution, breaking free from their institution. Gamestop Bitcoin leading the way. We're here to From retail shelves to digital gold, a new era story being told. No suits can stop this tidal wave. We're riding history, brave and brave. They laughed at first, but now they see the power of our community. No flash in the pan, we're here to last. We're writing the rules of the financial past. To a diamond hands revolution, breaking free from their institution. Gamestop Bitcoin
keep the company so true. Not just the price, but the value in view. Fundamentals will rise or fall in time, but first we climb this mountain high. Be more invested, rise above the game. Love her or hate her, she speaks with flame. Her voice will shine like morning dew, guiding us all to see what's true. She's kind and smart, her heart so pure, generous soul that will endure. She lifts us up, she makes us fight, encourages us through the night. Think for yourself and take the lead. Build a future, plant the seed for your family, for your name. Light the fire, fan the flame. Her words will echo through the years, melting away all doubts and fears. With every truth she helps us grow, showing the path we ought to know. She's kind and smart, her heart so pure, generous soul that will endure. She lifts us up, she makes us fight, encourages us through the night. Think for yourself and take the lead. Build a future, plant the seed for your family, for your name. Like a fire, fan the flame. We write a tale that will be told of how the small, when bound as one, can shake the towers of Babylon. We are the fire, we are the storm, breaking the chains, changing the norm. Nothing can stop us, we're taking flight. Our power shines, burning so
Can you feel the thrill? Can you feel the pop? Hands stop, won't stop, let's Gamestop. Power to the players, to the mountaintop. Pulse racing, adrenaline high. On the edge, ready to fly. Chasing thrills with all my might. No looking back, I see the light. Lights flashing in a blur. Nothing can hold me, I'm a connoisseur of danger, passion, and the rush. In this game, I refuse to hurt. I'm a thrill seeker on a quest, pushing limits, putting to the test. No mere, just pure desire to reach higher, like the fire. Heart pounding, feel the beat, dancing flames beneath my feet. Through the storm, I'll find my way. Burning bright, I seize the day. Wind is howling through my hair. Every step takes me somewhere. Of the wild and of the free. In this dance, just wait and see. I'm a thrill seeker, breaking free, embracing all that's meant to be. No limits, no walls, no fears, just chasing dreams through the years. Best time to be alive, so bright. Push start, shining in the light. Bitcoin rising takes the flight. Collectibles lead the financial ride. Gamestop's got cash to grow. No more burns, just profits flow. Small patrons may steal the show. Quarter gains begin to glow. People's eyes will open wide. Shock will spread like waves and tide. Gamestop's power can't be denied. Watch it rise and break the light. Soaring high in the digital sky. Gamestop and Bitcoin side by side, leading the way in e-commerce as fame. Gaming and car collectors untamed. GameStop's got cash to grow. No more burns, just profit flow. Small but strong, they steal the show. Quarter gains begin to blow. People advertising while the world's in need. Small but mighty with cash to lead. Billions waiting for the perfect dips. No cash to burn, just profit she rips. The CEO speaks with a confident tone to loyal shareholders who stand alone. Buckle up and just be wise. Interest aligned, no compromise. Can't stop, won't stop our rise. Power to the players, touch the sky. Gamestop is thriving while the market fades. Strong and steady where the future waits. Opportunities are ours to trade. Growing strong and never swayed. The CEO speaks with a confident tone to loyal shareholders who stand alone. To the players, touch the skies. Every time we rise, they doubt the way we play. But we're holding tight like the stocks on the rise today. In the game of dreams, we're pushing through the grind. With every touch of hope, see our futures unwind. Taking back the power, can you feel the thrill? So let's lift each other, let the world see with resilience flow, and we'll claim our victory. In the spirit of the fight, we rise and ignite. Hand in hand we'll shine in this newfound light. From the bottom steps, now we're reaching for the sky. With a movement strong, we're spreading wings to fly. Invested in the dream, never backing down. With the heart of a lion, we wear the crown. Together we'll ascend, hear the crowd's loud cheer. So let's lift each other, let the world see. With resilience flowing, we'll claim our victory. In the spirit of the fight, we rise and ignite. Hand in hand we'll shine in this newfound light. Keep on dreaming big, together we rise tall. In the heart of the hustle, we'll conquer all. Keep on dreaming me, together we rise on. In the heart of the hustle, come the roar. Together we rise so. You in the hall, the love so. We'll conquer all. Oh baby, Gamestop got that glow. Turning heads with profit steady slow. Ooh. losses to wins. Q1 flip the show, net income rising like a rocket. Go Ryan Cohen, yeah, he's the king on the throne. True, we found to turn this beast to gold. Visionary moves, got big money moan. Had the CEO dream, bolding on control. New partnership with BSA, so fine. Trading collectibles in a million line. Digital power packs open online. Pokemon to sports fortune shine. GameStop, so sexy, can't look away. Stocks on fire, night and day. Diamond hands holding, never gonna sway. GameStop, baby, you're my bae. Shareholders loyal, we never let go. Through the dips and highs, riding the flow. Meme stock magic, feel the afterglow. GameStop forever, watch the empire grow. GameStop, so sexy, can't look away. Stocks on fire, night and day. Diamond hands holding, never gonna sway. GameStop, baby, you're my bae. Digital numbers flashing green. GameStop's price a sight unseen. $22, what a steal. This bargain's got me all a squeal. Can't get enough, can't get enough. GameStop stock, it's hot stuff. Price so low, it's criminal. But cash pile high, it's pivotal. Ticker tape and flashing screens. A year ago, just pipe dreams. Now we're riding high. Can't you see this company's destiny? Laughs and sneers have turned to cheers as balance sheets allay our fears. Cash registers ring with glee. GameStop's future plain to see. Glitch and beat, the market sings of all the wealth this stock could bring. From doubters' jeers to bulls' applause, GameStop breaks all market laws. Can't get enough, bricks to clicks, we're building strong. The underdog singing this victory song. In the shadows of Wall Street's towering might, Gamestop stood small, ready to sign. Big funds laugh, said it's all over now, but the underdog rose. What if they go bow? Who cares if they short the stock? Let them short, we'll turn the clock. With diamond hands, we hold on tight. GameStop's rising into the night. Enter Ryan Cohen, bold and so grand, a leader with vision taking command. Confidence tried, no fear in his eyes, turning the tide under stormy skies. Who cares if they short the stop? Let them short, they'll break the law. With diamond hands, we hold our fight. GameStop's rising into the night. They bet against us, thought we'd follow, but Cohen's got the plan for all. From bricks to clicks, we're building strong. The underdog singing this victory song. Who cares if they short the stop? Let them short, feel the shock. With diamond hands, we hold on tight. GameStop soaring, owning the fight.
Ticking clocks on Wall Street lights,